In the summer of 1974, in West Germany, the Polish national team thrilled fans around the world, writing a modern fairy tale at the World Cup. In the era of Dutch total football was taking the world by storm, the White Eagles, coached by coach Kazimierz Górski, introduced a fiery, fast, and spontaneous attacking style of play called Futbol Totalny. With a generation of exceptionally talented players, they defeated giants such as Argentina, Italy, and especially won 1-0 against Brazil in the third-place match to win the precious bronze medal. They not only achieved success in terms of achievements, but their dedicated playing style became an unforgettable part of the memories of an entire generation of football lovers. But behind those glorious moments on the field are people with very different fates. 50 years have passed, and cruel time has left different marks on their lives. Some continue to conquer new heights in the coaching chair, some choose a reclusive life, some get caught up in the whirlpool of fame and fortune, and some have had to stop their journey in painful tragedy. Let's look back at the ups and downs of the players who made up the soul of that golden generation of Polish football. Kazimierz Dana was Poland's general in midfield, renowned for his intelligence and flair. A playmaker and captain, wearing the number 12 shirt for Legia Warsaw, he became the brains and heart of the team at just 26 years old. With a calm demeanor, wide vision, and the ability to control the tempo like a conductor, Dana made his mark with his falling gold leaf, long-range shots, and defense-splitting passes. In 1974, he finished third in the Ballon d'Or vote, alongside Johann Cruyff and Franz Beckenbauer, confirming his class and stature on the world stage. After the World Cup, Dana's career took a sad turn. Due to the regulations at that time, he was not allowed to play abroad before the age of 30, missing the opportunity to play for Real Madrid or AC Milan. When he moved to Manchester City, injuries prevented him from shining. Finally, he found joy again in the US with the San Diego Sockers, becoming a star in indoor soccer. Off the field, Dana was a generous but gullible artist. He starred in Escape to Victory with Pele and Sylvester Stallone, but lost all his assets to a fraudulent manager. In his later years, he lived alone in a foreign land, facing financial difficulties and homesickness. Dana's loneliness on the pitch mirrored his off-field persona, a genius ahead of his time but lost in reality. That journey ended tragically on the night of September 1st, 1989, in San Diego, when he died at the age of 41 in a car accident. His passing shocked Poland. Years later, his ashes were brought back to Warsaw, where his fans immortalized him. Grzegorz Lato, the whirlwind on the right wing, who could accelerate and finish off opponents in just one run. As a right winger, wearing the number 16 shirt and only 24 years old at the time, Lato played for Stal Mielec and became the nightmare of every defense. If Dana was the brain of Poland, then Lato was the jet-powered legs, playing with lightning speed and extraordinary instinct for scoring goals. The title of top scorer of the 1974 World Cup with 7 goals said it all. Among them, the moment he accelerated from midfield, leaving behind the Brazilian defenders to score the decisive goal in the third-place match, was a clear demonstration of Lato's coolness, sharpness, and killer class. Unlike Dana's tragic end, Lato had a powerful and controversial post-football career. After retiring from playing in Mexico and Canada, he returned to Poland and embarked on a political career. He served as a senator and culminated in his election as president of the Polish Football Association, PZPN. However, the throne of power was the place to destroy the image of the former hero. Lato's presidency was shrouded in allegations of corruption, authoritarianism, and decisions that went against the wishes of the fans. He became the focus of criticism, booed in the stands, where his name was once chanted. The contrast between Lato the player and Lato the politician is a great paradox. On the field, he brings pure joy with his dedication. But when he steps into the cold office of power, his simplicity disappears, replaced by the image of a bureaucrat. Today, at the age of 74, Grzegorz Lato has retired, living a quieter life after the political storms. Although the controversy over his managerial role still exists, fair history will always remember the image of the bald man with the wind-splitting run in 1974. He is still the only World Cup top scorer in the history of Polish football, a monument that cannot be overthrown in terms of expertise. Robert Godoka, the magician on the left wing, who turns every move into a mesmerizing performance. As a left winger, wearing the number 18 shirt, and at the age of 28, the peak of his career, Gadocha played for Legia Warsaw and was quickly rated by experts as the best left winger in the tournament that year. His dribbling moves that seemed to stick to his feet and his precise crosses became an endless source of balls for the Polish attack. Gadocha was a quiet but extremely dangerous player who made a difference that opponents only realized when it was too late. Gadocha's life after the tournament is a story full of mystery and scandal. He was one of the first players to leave Poland for France, Nantes, and then the United States. However, his name is tarnished by a historical suspicion. It is rumored that at the 1974 World Cup, the Argentine team gave Gadocha a bag of cash worth $18,000, a fortune at the time, to encourage Poland to beat Italy. Gadocha is accused of keeping the money without sharing it with his teammates. Because of this rumor, the relationship between him and his former teammates almost completely broke down. Gadocha chose to disappear. He settled in Florida, USA, and cut off all contact with Polish football for decades. On the pitch, Gadocha was famous for his unpredictable turns that left defenders disoriented. Off the pitch, he made a similar turn to his past, avoiding the media and choosing a reclusive life. He was the biggest unknown of the golden generation. Today, in his twilight years, Robert Gadocha still lives quietly in Sarasota, USA. He rarely gives interviews and almost never appears at alumni gatherings. The story of his outstanding talent now always comes with unanswered questions about his personality and chosen loneliness. Jan Tomaszewski arrived at the 1974 World Cup with the British press's ironic nickname of the Clown in Gloves, but he turned that ridicule into respect. Tomaszewski made history by becoming the first goalkeeper to save 2 penalties in a single World Cup, including Uli Hoeneß's against West Germany. With his eccentric style of catching the ball but his amazing reflexes, he was the Spider-Man who brought sorrow to many a top striker. After hanging up his gloves, Tomaszewski did not choose peace. He became one of Poland's most outspoken football commentators and pundits. He was known for his fearless mouth, ready to harshly criticize the national team, the federation, and even his former teammates if they did wrong. He even entered politics and became a member of parliament, where he continued his confrontational style. The role of goalkeeper, a lone striker, facing the entire opposition, was embedded in his personality. Tomaszewski was always one man against the world, whether in goal or on TV. He was not afraid of being hated, as long as he could speak the truth in his own way. Today, Jan Tomaszewski is still a familiar face in Polish media. Despite his age, his enthusiasm and bitch have not changed. He is proof that a hero does not necessarily have to be nice, but must certainly have a strong personality. Henryk Kasperczak, the silent warrior in the middle, the man who lays the foundation for the Polish attacking system to function smoothly. As a defensive midfielder, wearing the number 13 shirt and age 27 at the time, Kasperczak played for Stal Mielec and played the role of a worker in the tactical scheme. If Dana is the artist who inspires, then Kasperczak is the hard-working lung, diligently cleaning up all the trouble in the middle. His tenacity, discipline, and precise tackling became a solid foundation for the attacking stars to shine. The most interesting thing about Kasperczak is his illustrious coaching career later on. He did not choose the glamorous Europe, but ventured to the Black Continent, Africa. Kasperczak became a legend here when he led teams such as Tunisia, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast to participate in CAN and World Cup. He was respectfully called White Wizard by African people. His life was a series of non-stop flights, great cultural adaptation, and courage to explore new lands. On the field, he is a silent servant to his teammates. In his coaching career, he continues to be a dedicated teacher, nurturing African football talents to reach out to the world. Kasperczak is the embodiment of hard work and international vision. Today, Henryk Kasperczak is enjoying his retirement after traveling the world. He is respected in both Poland and Africa as a football ambassador who has spread the Eastern European football philosophy to distant lands. Antoni Szymanowski, a speedy wall of steel on the right flank, who made every opponent wary of entering his area. As a right back, wearing the number 4 shirt and only 23 years old at the time, Szymanowski was on the payroll of Wisła Kraków but soon reached the world level. In 1974, he was considered one of the best right-backs on the planet, thanks to his agility, strength, and especially his modern wing-back attacking mindset. Throughout the tournament, he played all 7 matches without leaving the field for a single minute, making an important contribution to the solidity of the Polish defense. In contrast to his brilliant career, Szymanowski's personal life was full of turmoil and family tragedies that he rarely shared. He is a legend of Wisła Kraków, but is often underestimated for his true talent. After retiring, he lived a rather private life, working as a youth team coach but always keeping his distance from the media's glamour. There were periods when he faced financial difficulties and public neglect. Szymanowski is a true silent hero. On the field, he runs back and forth on the wing. Off the field, he also silently endures the burdens of life without complaining. Currently, Antoni Szymanowski lives a simple life in Kraków. Although he is rarely mentioned in the press like Lato or Tomaszewski, in the eyes of experts, he is still the best fullback in the history of Polish football, a professional standard that no one has been able to surpass. Andrzej Szarmach, the demon of Poland's attack, who stepped onto the pitch with his rebellious long hair and a style of play that truly haunted his opponents. As a striker, wearing the number 17 shirt and only 23 years old at the time, Szarmach belonged to Górnik Zabrze, but quickly became the biggest discovery of the tournament. From a reserve, he exploded with 5 goals, only less than Lato, thanks to his outstanding aerial ability and his bravery in every move in the penalty area. His fierce, tenacious style and fearless spirit made Szarmach the terror of every defense. After the World Cup, Szarmach had a successful career in France with Auxerre. He became a legend there, scoring nearly 100 goals, was pampered by the famous coach Guy Roux, and was the mentor of Eric Cantona. Szarmach chose the lifestyle of a gentleman, polite, calm, and professional. Today, Andrzej Szarmach lives as a recluse in France. He has some health problems and rarely appears in public. However, whenever the devil of 1974 is mentioned, fans still remember an assassin with an angelic face and thunderous headers. Adam Muszał, the Snake, warrior on the left flank, who was ready to rush into every play with uncompromising determination. As a left-back, wearing the number 9 shirt and age 25 at the time, Muszał played for Wisła Kraków and was a symbol of fierce fighting spirit. He is famous for his red card in the water battle against West Germany in the semi-finals, a moment that showed his passion sometimes overstepping its bounds. Nevertheless, Muszał was always seen as a steely defender, willing to do whatever it took to protect the Polish goal. In real life, Muszał was the team's comedian, always making his teammates laugh. After retiring, he became a dedicated coach and a stadium manager. His life passed in the affection of friends and colleagues thanks to his frank, straightforward character and warm heart. However, that laughter has ended. In November 2020, Adam Muszał passed away at the age of 71. His departure left a great sorrow for the golden generation. Like losing a closest brother, he left, taking with him the memories of fiery tackles and a glorious youth. Jerzy Gorgon, the giant white wall in front of the Polish goal, whose mere presence was enough to make any striker flinch. As a center-back, wearing the number 5 shirt and only 24 years old at the time, Gorgon played for Górnik Zabrze but was already world-class. Standing 192 meters tall, an almost extraordinary height in 1974, he was called the Giant of the Defense. For 7 matches, Gorgon did not leave the field for even a minute, becoming the king of aerial duels and the most solid shield in front of Tomaszewski's goal. Not only was he excellent at defending, but he also had powerful long-range shots that made every opposing defense wary. Gorgon's presence brought a sense of absolute security to the whole team. Away from the cheers of the World Cup, Gorgon's life took an extremely discreet turn. After becoming a legend with Górnik Zabrze, he moved to Switzerland to play for St. Gallen in 1980. The peaceful Swiss land seemed to suit his personality so well that he decided to settle there after retiring. Gorgon completely withdrew from the Polish football world. He refused almost all interview requests, did not participate in reality TV shows or act as a commentator like his teammates. He worked for a trading company, then coached amateur youth teams and even worked at a sports academy, living the life of an ordinary Swiss citizen. For a time, Polish fans almost lost track of him, as if the giant had disappeared into the mists of the Alps. There is an uncanny resemblance between Gorgon on the pitch and off. On the pitch, he uses his towering body to shield the goal from all dangers. In life, he builds an equally solid, invisible wall to protect his privacy and that of his family from the prying eyes of the media. He is a silent giant, both in football and in life. Now, at the age of 70, Jerzy Gorgon is still living his peaceful days in Switzerland, although he chose to forget the glory. Polish fans have never forgotten him. The image of a tall, blonde center-back, towering like a lighthouse in the storm of the 1974 World Cup, is still the eternal standard for all Polish defenders after him. Władysław Żmuda, the young center-back with a scholarly face but possessing a steely spirit that stunned the world at the 1974 World Cup. In the center-back position, wearing the number 9 shirt and only 20 years old at that time, Żmuda played for Guardia Warsaw, but showed composure beyond his age. Playing alongside the giant Gorgon, he played the entire 630 minutes of the tournament without making any mistakes. His intelligent playing style, ability to judge situations extremely quickly, and precise interceptions made Żmuda the perfect piece to complement the strength of Gorgon. Although the title was not officially awarded by FIFA at that time, he was still honored as the best young player of the tournament, a clear testament to his talent and outstanding maturity. Żmuda's career after 1974 was an incredibly long one. He set an unprecedented record. He participated in 4 World Cups, 1974, 1978, 1982, 1986, and played 21 matches in this arena, a number that even world superstars dream of. He ventured through Italy with Hellas Verona, Cremonese, and then to the United States with New York Cosmos. However, his career was also marred by serious knee injuries, the result of playing at such a high level at such a young age. After hanging up his boots, Żmuda became a coach, leading Poland's youth teams and serving as an assistant to the national team. He was a dedicated teacher, quiet but commanding. Calmness was the thread that ran through Żmuda's life. On the pitch, he never panicked, whether the opponent was Brazil or West Germany. Off the pitch, he faced ups and downs, injuries and coaching pressures with a calm, steady attitude. He was the embodiment of stability and reliability. Today, Władysław Żmuda remains involved in football as an advisor and an active member of the former Players Association. He is a highly respected elder. His legacy is not only his titles, but also his example of professionalism and loyalty in serving his country for more than 2 decades. Zygmunt Maszczyk, the unwavering leader of the Polish midfield, the man who kept the 1974 symphony running smoothly from start to finish. In the central midfield position, wearing the number 11 shirt, and at 29, the oldest in the starting lineup, Maszczyk played for Ruch Chorzów and played the role of a tireless sweeper. He roamed the pitch, fiercely contesting and constantly recovering the ball, creating space for the attacking artists up front to express themselves. A silent warrior, Maszczyk always took on the heaviest tasks that the cameras rarely focused on, but were extremely important for the balance of the team. Maszczyk is a symbol of Silesia, the land of industrious miners in Poland. After the World Cup, he continued to contribute to Ruch Chorzów, winning many national championships before moving to France to play the final years of his career. Maszczyk's life behind the scenes was quite special. After retiring, he and his family moved to Germany. Here, he chose a life completely separate from top football. He lived as an ordinary worker, humble and simple. In his old age, he faced some health problems but always maintained the optimistic spirit of an old soldier. The philosophy of sacrifice for the collective has been applied to Maszczyk's life. On the field, he runs for others. Off the field, he accepts to leave his homeland, works hard to take care of his family's future. He does not seek glory for himself. His joy is the stability of those around him. Currently, Zygmunt Maszczyk is living his old age in Germany, although he rarely appears in the Polish media. Whenever the 1974 generation is mentioned, his teammates always give him special respect. They call him the lungs of the team, the one who breathed for the whole team in the most suffocating moments. Lesław Ćmikiewicz, a strategic piece from the bench, who always appeared at the right time to turn the game according to coach Kazimierz Górski's wishes. As a defensive midfielder, wearing the number 14 shirt and age 25 at the time, Ćmikiewicz played for Legia Warsaw but rarely started officially, although he appeared in 6 matches. However, his importance was undeniable. Whenever Poland needed to strengthen the midfield, preserve the score, or increase toughness against strong opponents, Ćmikiewicz's name was always the first choice. He came on the field not to show off, but to disrupt the opponent's rhythm, disrupting their play with his cunning and excellent reading of the game. Unlike many of his teammates who chose to stay hidden, Ćmikiewicz, after retiring, became one of the most active representatives of the golden generation. He devoted himself deeply to his coaching career, working as an assistant to his former teacher Górski, and then leading the Polish Olympic team. In addition to his professional skills, Ćmikiewicz is a fluent speaker and a sharp thinker. He regularly appears in the media, participates in social activities, and acts as a firekeeper of the team's memories. He is the one who connects the remaining members, organizes meetings, and is always willing to tell historical stories to the younger generation. On the field, he is the one trusted with the task of maintaining the game. Off the field, he is the one who upholds historical values. His role as a stand-in has now transformed into an official representative, a devoted ambassador of Polish football. Today, Lesław Ćmikiewicz is still immersed in football activities in his twilight years. He is like a living dictionary, a passionate witness of history. For him, the 1974 World Cup is not just the past, but an endless lesson and inspiration that needs to be passed on forever. Jan Domarski, Wembley hero, the spirit symbol who brought Poland to the 1974 World Cup, with a historic shot that made the whole country burst into tears. As a striker, wearing the number 10 shirt and at the age of 27, Domarski played for Stal Mielec and entered the tournament in a special halo. However, in the final round, the explosion of young talent Andrzej Sharmach forced him to accept a reserve role. However, Domarski never showed any dissatisfaction. Playing only 3 matches with a total of 122 minutes. He always entered the field with absolute enthusiasm, making a wall, running, opening up space for Lato or Sarmak to shine. Domarski is a living testament to professionalism, sacrifice, and loyalty to the flag. Domarski's club career was linked to the golden age of Stal Mielec, where he formed a formidable partnership with teammate Grzegorz Lato, helping the provincial side win the Polish championship twice. He then had spells in France, Nîmes Olympique, and the United States. In contrast to the glory of his goal at Wembley, Domarski's personal life was extremely simple. He was a quiet, reserved, and humble man to the point that it was hard to believe that he was the man who had once made the whole of England cry. After retiring, he returned to his hometown of Rzeszów, participating in coaching local and regional teams. He lived away from the noise of the media, happy in his role as a grandfather and father in the family. Domarski is the embodiment of knowing yourself and knowing your enemy. On the pitch, he knows how to step back and let his teammates shine when necessary. In life, he never rests on his laurels. For him, the goal at Wembley is a beautiful memory, but not something he can rely on to demand special treatment. He is a true folk hero. Today, at the age of 80, Jan Domarski lives a healthy and peaceful life in Rzeszów. He is often invited to commemorative events, but he never talks too much about himself. He is a living symbol, reminding us that sometimes the person who has done the most work is not necessarily the one who has been in the limelight the longest.